Yo, what's good, Commanders Nation? It's your man Gerard B on Gerard B TV, and we fully logged in. Draft less than 10 days away. Jersey less than 24 hours away. Damn, Commanders log tonight, right? We logged in. We all the way ready, bruh. Commanders got us ready. This new ownership, you know what I'm saying? They not new no more. You know what I'm saying? They doing us right, man. You know what I'm saying? They just be laying it out for us the right way, man. Hey, but on today's video, we're going to be cracking old Adam Peters' skull a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're about to go inside the brain of the madman himself, known as Adam Peters, and look at his wide receiver blueprint, because this all ties into how you're going to make Jayden Daniels in this offense magnanimous. You know what I mean? This ain't about hype. It's not about big boy nonsense. You know what I'm saying? We talking about real traits. We talking about how Adam Peters scouts, you know, what he's looking for, measurables and things like that. The traits and obviously the production. All right. And we're going to talk about how these fits, these 2026 wide receivers, they fit with JD. All right. We're going to talk about Adam Peters and how he developed his scouting prowess, you know what I'm saying, through his Patriots from 49ers days as well. All right. So lock in with your boy. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, man. Sit back and relax. Let's get it. Y'all already know where we at, baby. We getting ready for the NFL draft. You know what I'm saying? What better way to talk about the NFL draft than to talk about Adam Peters and how he works, bro? And how he got to the work. I'm talking about the fact that Bill Belichick taught that man the Patriot way. Production, toughness, football character over an elite prospect as far as Ross, combine numbers, if you will. Don't fall in love with the athletic freak if he can't do nothing for you in crunch time when it matters the most. You want guys who can win with whatever tools they have. That lesson stuck with Adam Peters forever. And it molds how he looks at players today, especially once he got to San Francisco and he started learning the importance of high Ross guys. Okay, so now he melded that together. And, you know, that's when you come across your Deebo Samuels, your Brandon Aiyuks, your Jauan Jennings, and things like that. All right? But we trying to figure out what the exact blueprint of the wide receivers that Adam Peters wants to complement Jayden Daniels, that has an elite arm. He has talent, highly mobile, off-schedule playmaking, the leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you pair with that? You got a Terry, all right? You know, we had a Deebo Samuels, you know what I'm saying? A physical, explosive playmaker. And we saw that worked from time to time. Deebo was doing his thing. Deebo not the tallest. He not the fastest. But his production still was there. Okay, the production still was there, man. The production was there. And that's the most important tenet. The most important tenet when it comes to what Adam Peters rates these wide receivers, man. All right. Like Brandon Aiyuk, 2020 in the first round. Deebo Samuels, the second round in 2019. All right. Both of them, they weren't like super high Ross guys. They was over the average, you know what I'm saying? I think Deebo was like a 7.8, and Aiyuk was an 8.4 in Ross at the time. But Aiyuk had some 33 and a half inch arms, you know what I'm saying? Contested catch demon, versatile jump. I mean, vertical jump was crazy. Broad jump was crazy. You know what I'm saying? He can play versatile, outside, slot, yak, monster, right? We trying to get that on the squad now, right? His production jumped every year. And again, that's the most important tenet. You got to produce, bro. You can't just be athletically twitched up and not have no production. That's not what Adam Peters is looking for, right? And if you don't have production, guess what that means? You're not coachable. Be coachable. All right, be coachable. All right, just be coachable. So listen, y'all. This is the Adam Peters formula right here. Agility, explosion, length. You want to have that for like contested catchability, yak, you know what I'm saying? Just being able to beat your man stupid, especially when it's crunch time, right? And you want to have that production that shows up, that actually going to show up on the tape, fam. It's very important. Create this little graphic here for y'all so y'all could just follow along with me, all right? Because this is what he's looking for in a wide receiver for Jayden Daniels, right? He's looking for this. He's looking for a 3-cone, 20-yard shuttle that's 7.0 and 4. And less than 7.0 and less than 4.3. That's what you're looking for. Short area quickness. All right. Flip your hips. If you were doing a slant, I need you to break open. You know what I'm saying? Be able to get some yak. Think about the wide receivers we drafted already. We've drafted a Luke McCaffrey. We drafted a Jalen Lane. They both were exceptional at 3-cone and 20 yards, as well as the rest of these categories. Broad jump and vertical. Got to show some lower body explosion. Got to be able to get off the snap of the ball, be able to get off the ground, sometimes to go get the ball, be able to high point the ball, right? Be able to jump over somebody. You know, being able to have a high broad jump is also very important to your ability to cut and things like that, right? Especially if you're trying to do a hop jump, hop cut, I should say. Arm length, 30+ inches. Hand size, 9+ inches. All right, contested catch radius and leverage at the catch point. That is what those metrics are going to look for. All right. Peters said it himself. He looks at arm length, but he will take a guy with shorter arms if the tape shows he's winning with that short arm. So Ruben Bain, you're not a wide receiver, my boy. Production obviously is the ultimate tiebreaker. I keep saying it. I'm going to harp on it, fam, because when I show y'all my listy, y'all going to be like, oh, I see what he means. Consistent yards, touchdown, winning versus top competition. I'm going to say that one. Winning versus top competition. Not just being a one-trick pony. We can't have that. We can't have that. Again, Adam Peters has publicly said measurables must show up on tape. Must show up on tape, fam. Now back to the draft room. Jayden Daniels is a dual threat monster. All right, elite arm talent, quick release, off schedule, magic. You know how that boy get down. Ability to extend the plays. 2024 was a great draft for us. Great draft, right? The receivers that we gonna be looking for, bro, right, in this 2026 draft and beyond, they're gonna be able to create yards after the catch, right? His mobility is gonna open up the entire field for these guys. So you need guys that can take advantage of that, right? You need guys that can win contested 50-50 balls, as well as red zone jump balls. That's where the big hands and the length come into place. Stretch the field vertically. Jayden Daniels has one of the best deep ball accuracies in the game. Stretch the field vertically. Get those explosives popping. Separate quickly in short and medium areas because guess what? Jayden Daniels deadly accurate at going across the middle. He layers passes and throws with touch and anticipation, right? So that's what those shuttle and those 3 cones drills come in at because you want those for the quick hitters and being able to get horizontal on your man and getting out of it. All right, again, Adam Peters drafted Jayden Daniels knowing that this was the kind of wide receiver that he would want to pair with him, okay? Think about, again, we drafted Luke McCaffrey. He shows he's explosive after the catch. He's explosive. You seen what Luke is doing on kick returns, right? He's had the big plays with JD in limited opportunities. Okay, then you got Jayden Lane. Jayden Lane showed a little something. He needs to develop his craft a lot more, but hey, development is better than nothing. All right, and these 2026 targets are built for a lot of this same magic in the David Blau scheme that I just mentioned. Yak, 50-50 balls, win vertically, and then be able to get horizontal on balance. Man, we about to be cooking. All right, man. So here we go. The official Gerard B. TV, Adam Peters-centric wide receiver power rankings for the Commanders' 2026 top 30 visits. Whew, that was a lot. All right, let's study, bro. Let's get into it, man. You know, because we are obsessed, bro. We are obsessed, bro. So off the top, you see number one on my list is Jordyn Tyson, fam. Number one on my list is Jordyn Tyson. I think Jordyn Tyson is number one on Adam Peters' list of wide receivers. Okay. I think that's the case. All right. He clears all the measurables that we talked about before. All right. 6'2", 203. So he tall, got some size to him. All right. 30.25-inch arms. He got the arm length. He got the hand size, 9 1/8. Got the hand size. This was the most impressive shit ever. 26 bench reps of 225. You know how hard that is? You know how hard that is? It's very difficult, bro. He damn near broke the wide receiver record. I don't know who holds the wide receiver record. If you do, put it in the comment section. That's dope. If I had to think about it, it's probably the Arizona Cardinals cat. I forgot his name off the top of my head. Way back when. You know what I'm saying? But his hamstring limited that man to only 61 catches for 711 yards, 8 tugs in 9 games. But when healthy, let's talk about some of his big play production. Thanks to Phil Yates. He put out this tweet. All right. Over the past 2 seasons, Jordyn Tyson is at his best when playing the best. Number 16, Utah, 5 catches, 84 yards, a touchdown. At number 16, Kansas State, 12 catches, 176 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Number 14, BYU, 9 catches, $125. Against number 24, TCU, 8 catches, 126 yards, and 2 tuds. Against number 7, Texas Tech, 10 catches, $105, and a touchdown, son. He screams wide receiver 1, son. He's screaming wide receiver 1 of this class. And when healthy, it's clear cut. No dice. Like that's what we talking about. All right. Again, I think he's Adam Peters' number 1 target when it comes to wide receiver. I think he's number 1 on Adam Peters' big board when it comes to wide receivers. Okay. Red zone nightmare, elite separator and man coverage, can dice you up in zone, contested catch winner, got the yak that you're looking for. And then Jordyn Tyson himself said the Commanders Combine interview was the most impressive he had all process. He got the private workout on the 17th. He also got a top 30 visit with the squad. That's not random that was announced this week. That's not random, y'all. All right. Again, Adam Peters may see the type of talent he's seen with Deebo and Aiyuk, right? The size, power, suddenness, production that's going to pop off the screen. We see when we look at his tape, right? Just like how Peters pushed hard for Deebo after the Senior Bowl, he might see the same thing with Jordyn Tyson, that put a team on his back type potential. All right, the fit for JD and them, perfection, right? 9.7 out of 10. That's 97%. All right, because he's going to win on off-schedule throws. He's going to win on touch passes. He's going to win every way, short, intermediate, and deep. 50-50 balls, yak monster. Oh, my God. Like, magnanimous, bro. Magnanimous. Then you got Denzel Boston, hometown cat, big boy, 32-inch arms, 9 5/8 hands, elite 4.28 shuttle. All right. Oh, that dude's 6'3", 5'8". You know what I'm saying? He's killing the metric game for Adam Peters. That's why he's number 2 on his list. Top 30 me. You know what I mean? Listen, 2025, his production jumped up crazy. 62 catches, 881 yards, 11 tuds. All right. Size, length, suddenness. That's that quickness factor. Perfect for the big slot or the X. Right? He going to win at the catch point. You not out jumping that man. All right. Obviously, he been around. Hometown visits plus multiple meetings with the squad. So, opportunity. Right? I feel like Peters would love this guy, man, as a compliment to JD. Facts only. Right? He can bully all the smaller DBs in the league. Right? And obviously, just like how Aiyuk did early on in his career, bullying Bama's in the slot. Imagine if you paired him with Aiyuk. That would be crazy. Right? Imagine if you paired Aiyuk with any of these guys. That would be crazy. All right? Listen, man. Big body matchup nightmare who going to win contested catches, stretch the field vertically, and be a red zone destroyer? Yeah, dog, that's what we need in the squad, right? All these receivers is what we need in the squad. We need one of all of these receivers. We could use 2. You know what I mean? All right, look, Chris Brazil, we talked about him a little bit yesterday. 6'4", 6'5", big dude, right? 32 3/8 arms, all right? Ran a 4.37 40. Strong vertical production, fam, all right? Strong vertical production. Tallest of the group. But if we looking at this is length, speed, and production combo. All right. Again, he's giving that Aiyuk with that GPS data, son. He's looking like, yeah, I can get out of there on y'all. Remember, Peters value coachability in meetings. Brazil has the coachability in him, son. You know what I'm saying? Think about where you coming from, where you going. You know what the rap on Tennessee wide receivers is. Y'all suck. So you got to come in the league and be coachable, son. You know what I'm saying? Elite vertical threat, man. Contested catch monster. JD throwing that deep ball to this man be crazy. And you can get him in the second round. You know what I'm saying? I almost got him in the third. He ain't going to be there, though. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Carnell Teasy. You know what I mean? 6'2" and a quarter, 192 pounds, 31 3/4 arms, 10 big ass hands. That boy hands 10 and a quarter. All right, elite ball skills. 51 catches, 875 yards, 9 tuds. All right. Now, he got the pedigree because he went to Ohio State. We all know that. Consistent production against elite defenses, even though it was against the CB2. We don't care. High floor, high ceiling playmaker. He got the longest hands and wingspans, the biggest hands and the longest wingspan in the class. Okay. Now, if you're thinking about reliability as to what Adam Peters has already drafted, think about how Jauan Jennings was just like super reliable for them when he got this opportunity. But Carnell Tate is way more explosive than him. All right. Think about that. He'd be an awesome chain mover, dog. Awesome chain mover. You know what I'm saying? Carnell Tate gonna do numbers in the league. I ain't saying he ain't no slouch. He gonna do numbers in the league, man. All right. I just realized I'm missing somebody on this list, y'all. Don't judge me. Omar Cooper Jr. All right, slot demon. Omar Cooper Jr. Think Deebo, toughness in the slot, dragging defenders for extra yards. You know what I'm saying? Again, just like we saw with Deebo Samuel at the Senior Bowl, you saw with Omar Cooper Jr. Son. Somebody could put the team on their back. Elite yak, man. Elite yak. Elite zone beater. All right. Another elite zone beater, Makai Lemon. Another elite yak guy, Makai Lemon. Another explosive wide receiver, Makai Lemon. Smaller frame, right? Does hurt him a little bit, but he does have that burst. He does have a burst off the line. He's a route running savant. High upside guy. He can flip the field if need be too. Speed and yak. That's how he fits with this offense. Get on top of corners, stack them boys. Jayden Daniels' mobility gonna have him always able to get open. But again, the bottom line is one of these top 30 wide receivers is gonna be a commander. One of these top 30 wide receivers is gonna be a commander. Which one you think it's gonna be? You know what I'm saying? If the bull cooperates and we able to trade back, you want a wide receiver in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you fuck around and get a king's ransom and you get a second, a third, a second and a fourth for moving back 3 or 4 spots. Would you entice drafting 2 wide receivers that you had top 30 visits with? I'm just saying, like, could you imagine drafting Jordyn Tyson and Chris Brazil? That would be crazy. Anyway, Mo, who's your favorite on this list, man? Which one you think fits the offense the best? You know what I'm saying? And which wide receiver you think Washington really rocking with? I think it's Jordyn Tyson. All right. But if you learn something new about how Adam Peters looks at wide receivers or roster building or whatever, hit that like, hit that subscribe, man. We got more coming. Bro. Turn on that bell. See y'all in the next one, man. We out here.